This is solving quadratic equations like this. And the first step we want to do is factor them like this. This is what we're going to be using, is factoring. And then you set each one of those factors equal to 0 and solve it. And that gives you two answers, 1/2 and 3. And here's the reason why. Let's check with just the 3. If we were to plug in 3, this would give us 0 times 6 minus 1, which is 5. And what's 0 times 5? It's 0. That's what we're trying to make is 0. So if we have a factored form, the only way to make it equal 0 is if one of these factors is 0. And that's the reason we want to factor it. So there's 3 steps here. Number 1 is you need to set it equal to 0. So put everything on the left side or the right side, but it has to equal 0. Number 2 is to factor. Number 3 is to set each factor equal to 0 and solve. So let's try one. This is our first problem. Number 1, we have to set it equal to 0. So this means adding a 5 to the other side. Done. Step 2 is to factor it. And this is our trinomial. So what two numbers when multiplied give you 5, when added give you 6? That's 5 and 1. And then step 3 is to set each factor equal to 0. Minus 5, minus 5. So x equals minus 5, minus 1, x equals minus 1. And that's our solution. And if we check it by plugging them into the original equation, you'll see it works. But again, if we make that minus 1 plus 1 would be 0. And 0 times this would equal 0. So it's just a nice little trick. If you set it equal to 0, we now have it equaling 0. So if we factor it, then we know one of the two factors has to be 0. Alright, let's try another. So there's your 10h squared. So we need to move everything over to the h squared side. So we get 0. And that's step 1. Step 2, we have to factor. So this is 10h, and that's h. Minus 1 plus 1, and let's check it. 10h squared minus 10h plus h is this minus 9h and minus 1. Now there is another way to do it. This is the quick way. It's the guess and check. You can also do the 10 times negative 1 and all that stuff that we did before with factoring. Right here with our factoring review. Or trinomials. It's this method. So you can multiply the outer and work that way. Okay. So now step 3. Set each factor equal to 1 or equal to 0. I'm just thinking of the answer here. And then we get 10h equals negative 1. So h equals negative 1/10. And then h equals 1. And there are our two answers. And how do you know they're correct? We just plug them in and check. So let's at least check one just to show you how to do it. So always plug into the original equation. So 10 equals 10, it checks out. And that's it. So it's 3 nice clean little steps. So again, we set it equal to 0, and that way we have our 0. We factor it, and then after we've done all this, we can now just look at it and say, well, either that one's 0 or that one's 0. That's the only way to multiply two things and make a 0. It's our 0 factor property. Alright, so give these two a shot. Hit pause and try it. Remember, 3 steps. Make sure it's set it equal to 0, factored, and then set each factor equal to 0. Hit pause and give it a shot. And this is what you should have had. So I factored out the negative 2, and we get this as our form. And so again, we're looking at what can make it 0. So negative 2 times either this, or negative 2 times another 0 here. So we set that one equal to 0, and that one equal to 0, and solve. And then over here, I brought the 24 over. That way we're equal to 0. I factored out the common factor, which was 2x, and then set each of those equal to 0. And that's it. Alright. 2 more to try. We're going to do these together. So the first one, you notice it's no longer a quadratic, we have a cube. But when this happens, that means there's a common factor. So we take out the common factor of x. Alright, and then factor that trinomial. So you can either multiply the 6 and the 5 and do the AC method, or you can just go for it. And you get that. Check it. It's minus 15. Oops. Sorry, good thing I checked it. Minus 15 plus 2 is minus 13, and that's 5 and 6. Alright, so now last step, set each factor equal to 0. And there is all 3 of our answers. And you notice a nice little coincidence here, but if you have a cube, it means you're going to get 3 possible answers. If you have a square, you're getting 2 possible answers. Alright, so on this one, it looks a little bit different, and you would think that we could just set each factor equal to this, but the whole goal is to make it equal to 0. And the only way to do that is to actually expand it out. Now we can bring it over, and we have our nice setup equation. Alright, and then factor it. So we get 27, that's minus 9 and minus 3. So x minus 9 equals 0. X is 9. X minus 3 equals 0. So x equals 3. And those are our 2 answers. Thank you.